Good evening everyone, welcome back to Revival, and today we're stepping into India important landmark cases that didn't just decide disputes, but shaped the law, protected our rights, and changed the way justice is understood in India. These judgments speak about liberty, equality, power of the constitution, and the role of the courts in our democracy. In a simple and clear way, we'll understand what happened, what the court decided, and why these cases still matter in our daily lives. So stay with me, focus, and let's revive our understanding of the law through some of the most important cases ever decided. Imagine India just a decade after independence. The nation is free, but the pain of partition is still raw, borders are uncertain, and trust between India and Pakistan is fragile. In this tense atmosphere, a small strip of land near West Bengal, Berubari Union, suddenly becomes the center of a constitutional and emotional storm. What looked like a minor border issue slowly turned into a question that challenged India's sovereignty and the supremacy of its constitution. When British India was divided in 1947, the Radcliffe Line was drawn in extreme haste, without proper surveys or ground verification. As a result, several border areas became unclear, and Berubari was one such disputed territory. Both India and Pakistan claimed it, each interpreting the boundary line differently. For India, Berubari was under its administration. For Pakistan, it was territory wrongly retained by India. This confusion kept tensions alive and threatened peace between the two newly formed nations. To avoid further conflict, India's Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru chose diplomacy over confrontation. After negotiations with Pakistan's Prime Minister Firoz Khan Noon, the two leaders signed the Nehru-Noon Agreement in 1958. The solution seemed practical and peaceful. Berubari would be divided between India and Pakistan. Politically and diplomatically, the agreement appeared sensible. It promised stability, reduced tension, and a permanent settlement of a lingering dispute. But what seemed simple on paper raised a profound constitutional dilemma. Could India give away its land, even for peace, without changing its constitution? The government of India believed it could implement this agreement using Article 3 of the Constitution, which allows Parliament to reorganize states by changing their boundaries or areas. However, critics argued that Article 3 was meant only for internal adjustments within India, not for handing over Indian territory to another country. This disagreement was serious enough to reach the highest constitutional authority in the country. The President referred the matter to the Supreme Court of India for its opinion, transforming a diplomatic issue into a dramatic constitutional debate. Inside the courtroom, the question was sharp and unsettling. Is Indian territory so easily transferable? The Supreme Court examined Article 3 line by line and made a crucial distinction. Changing boundaries between Indian states is one thing, giving Indian land to a foreign country is entirely another. The court emphasized that ceding territory affects the very sovereignty of the nation. Sovereignty, it said, cannot be altered through ordinary legislation or executive agreements. It represents the will of the people as expressed in the Constitution, and therefore, any such change must follow the most rigorous constitutional process. The court's conclusion was clear and powerful. It held that Parliament does not have the power under Article 3 to transfer Indian territory to a foreign country. If India wished to give even a small piece of its land to another nation, the constitution itself would have to be amended. This judgment sent a strong message. National territory is not a negotiable asset that can be adjusted casually, even in the name of peace. Constitutional discipline must prevail over political convenience. Following this opinion, the government accepted the constitutional limitation and took the correct legal route. Parliament passed the 9th Constitutional Amendment Act, 1960, which amended the constitution to legally enable the transfer of Berubari territory to Pakistan. Only after this amendment was the Nehru-Noon Agreement implemented. The episode demonstrated that while diplomacy may guide policy, the constitution sets the boundaries within which policy must operate. The Berubari case thus stands as a dramatic milestone in Indian constitutional history. It reaffirmed the supremacy of the constitution, clarified the limits of parliamentary power, and underscored the sanctity of India's territorial sovereignty. Above all, it proved that in India, even matters of foreign policy and national interest are subject to constitutional scrutiny. The case reminds us that borders are protected not just by armies or agreements, but by the constitution itself, firm, supreme, and uncompromising. Thank you everyone for listening till the end. If you found this video helpful and informative, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel Revival for more such amazing videos. Your support motivates us to bring you quality content that truly adds value to your preparation and understanding. Stay curious, stay consistent, and keep reviving your knowledge with us. See you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep learning.